nursing, leadership and quality improvement, and professional development. Dana's current role allows her to work interprofessionally with all levels of the organization and in a shared effort of providing the best care and services to the seniors.
Good afternoon. My own cheering section. So for the next 15 minutes, I'd just like to share our experience at Revera using resident and family satisfaction surveys to inform our quality agenda as well as drive resident-centered care. So similar to what Deborah was talking about, we have a balanced scorecard, and resident and family satisfaction is one of the 4 pillars that we measure our quality performance on. And in each of the pillars, we have key performance indicators as well as performance indicators due to accountabilities for reporting above to our board executives and for the home indicators, the performance indicators that inform what we're doing for quality improvement. Okay. So why we survey is that the resident and family satisfaction tools, the survey tools, allow for us to hear what's important to those who are living in our homes, as well as those who are partners in the care for the residents that we are providing services for. We have adopted a person-centered care model as a model of care, and it is based on 4 quadrants. And the satisfaction tool allows for us to get a better sense of how we're performing in each of those areas in terms of the lived experience, the informed choices, supportive relationships, and sense of community, not only for the residents who are living with us, but for all those persons that are involved in our homes. So we have been partnering with NRC Canada for the last 3 years. We're going into our 4th year of survey, so it's an external provider who assists us in this process. And that was a very new and period of transition for us from doing it internally. And how we go about doing our survey process is we have been doing a point-in-time survey on an annual basis. And that has allowed for us to establish a baseline as of 2011, and we've continued with an annual survey, but we'll be migrating to a 2-point time survey for 2014, where everyone will be surveyed on an annual basis, but allowing a pulse survey to take place within 6 months to divide that up. We have 2 survey tools, a family satisfaction survey tool and a resident-specific tool. In working with NRC, we've been providing a lot of feedback in our experience of the feedback we've been receiving from families, residents, and staff. And this year, Dr. Walter Woodchus has taken a look at that survey tool and adjusted it. It used to have about 72 questions on the resident survey tool, and it has been reduced to about approximately 42. So that has been received very positively in terms of the logistics of the survey tool. We use a mail-out survey option. In 2011, there was a mail-out survey to both residents and families. When we reflected upon our response rates, we felt that we could do much better in terms of how that particular method worked for residents. And so we introduced the concept of facilitated interviews for the 2012 and 2013 year. And it will show you how that has improved our response rates and thus provided us with confidence that the results that we are receiving are much more reflective of what the experience is from the residents. When it comes to the facilitated interview process, we do continue with the anonymity of the surveys by cross utilization of staff between our homes. So it's not staff within the home that are actually sitting with the residents that they provide care. So there is some self-scheduling, but it does allow for that anonymity to continue. So at the end of a survey process, we do a mail-out survey, and then 24 days later, they send out a second survey just as a reminder. And then we have about a 6-week lag period in which we're waiting for the results from NRC. And each of the homes, as well as our regions, and Revera extends out to 4 provinces, we receive reports at a home level, at a regional level, as well as at a corporate level for both surveys for residents and families. And they look a little bit like this. So There's a caution sign on the bottom should the N size be less than 30. And that's just to let us know that the sample size was less than what they suggest to be a validated sample. In 2011, we did receive a number of reports that had the cautions on them. That was also a driver as to us adjusting our process and methodology for the following years. And this year, we had no reports that had the cautions, so we had validated reports for all homes. The reports, when they come in, there are 6 domains in each of the reports for family and resident satisfaction surveys. And what the reports tell us is not only our percent positive, but also, our lower percentage scores. But what's been interesting for us to really utilize that data for that it's meaningful is the correlation analysis that we've been receiving in this partnership with NRC. So for example, the 3 bars that you see on the top 3 bars there, those are telling us what is most important to our residents that's actually driving overall satisfaction. And because we have 6 domains, we actually get a report that looks like that for food satisfaction, activities, with satisfaction with recreation. And with resident survey, they ask specific questions about their relationship with staff, the dignity, the experience of their dignity and autonomy within the home. So we can get a real good drill down in terms of what's really driving those particular domains. We also, with NRC, are able to have some external benchmarking, which is important to understanding what our numbers mean, not only internally, but on the average. We're compared to 33 other long-term care operators across Canada. So that helps us in terms of appreciating our outcome performance, as well as informing our decision-making for target setting for the next few years. So what I find really interesting with this process and what's relatively new for us at Revera is the correlation analysis. And it did take a period of transition to explain what this truly meant. And it's a bit overwhelming when you're receiving new graphics and trying to navigate the reports. But what we've really tried to concentrate on is that when the correlation matrix comes in like this, we want to focus on the left upper quadrant. The dots that are posted within that matrix, that's really telling us what is truly important to the residents. This is what's meaningful and important to them in their experience, and this is where our opportunities are that we need to focus and concentrate improvement opportunities. So this is something for us that's really quite interesting, because each of the homes, their matrix is going to look very different. So when you look at a corporate aggregate report, that helps us validate and maybe inform system improvements, but the true improvement is coming right at the home level from the voice of the residents and the families. And these reports are taken to each of the home quality councils as well as the resident councils. So as much as we're sharing what these reports are, the quality improvement initiatives and the change that's going to be taking place is coming from the voice of the people who are collaboratively decision making on the quality improvements. So what we do with all this data that's coming in, we can track and trend how we're doing year over year. So the long-term care average is the external comparator, so that allows us to see our performance. And here I'm showing also on the bottom, the bar graphs are our response rates. So you can see in 2011, when it came to the very first time that we rolled out this particular methodology for resident satisfaction surveys, our N size was fairly low. And so the 2012 and 2013 are reflective of the facilitated interview process and much more larger sample size and a stronger voice of the people who are living within our homes. The red bar is our Revera target. So as we look at our performance year to year, we also are doing a comparison of what that means in terms of the long-term care averages. And we always want to be meeting or exceeding, other benchmarks that are available to us when we're doing our comparisons. The next couple slides are just showing how we can now drill down from overall to different domains. So when you're looking at the significant programs that we're involved in and change initiatives that might be taking place, we can look at the food domain and again be doing that similar comparison as to what's happening within the sector as well as within our homes, same as with activities. This particular slide shows an actual question within one of the domains, and it's that domain of staff for the resident satisfaction survey. For all of us who are working diligently on the culture change movement in long-term care, we've been really looking at our survey tools to see what questions can we be pulling from this survey tool to help inform us in terms of which strategies and activities are most meaningful to the residents and the staff, and how can we leverage that better. So this one is that you're treated the way that you want to be treated. And, you can see how in 2011, we've seen a progression year over year, which is great because our culture change journey started the beginning of 2012. So when we can drill down to questions like that, and the homes can do it themselves, they can really be asking themselves of what we've done in our home and what we're advancing, is it really making a difference? Particularly in those particular questions that are important and significant to the residents. So in summary, we have two survey tools. They are different. They have different domains and different questions because they're two different audiences. We are allowed to do benchmarking, which is significant to quality improvement, and we use NRC for all our 4 lines of business, and that has allowed for us to do some comparisons, which is really great just within our business unit. But in terms of really advancing where we want to go and having residents drive their care and be a collaborative partner, the tool has been really quite useful, and we're still evolving and understanding all the components and facets that it can offer. Thank you.